Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Welcome into the Bold Sports Show. I'm your host, Mr. KC, and today we're doing the top free agents and what their contracts and where they're going, kind of situations going to look like. Now, take a look around the league and see what's available to make your team better. Let's check out this list. This is a very interesting list. To start off, we do have the number one available free agent, T. Higgins. Shout out old T. Higgs. Man, you got to imagine the Bengals will at least be tagging him or doing a tag and trade kind of a situation. You definitely want something in return for T. Higgins. He's projected to be at about a $28 million a year kind of contract. Look, there's any number of teams that could want T. Higgins. Anybody with a little bit of salary cap. The Patriots have the most salary cap, so maybe that's the spot. You find some craziness there. But it all depends on what T. Higgins is really looking for. Maybe he wants to stay in Cincinnati. He probably wants to leave, let's be honest. I'd imagine. And we're going to take him to someplace that can afford him. Probably he's got to be careful because if he wants a second big contract, he's got to make sure he goes to a situation with a quarterback already there. And I mean, you can kind of get away with that with the Patriots. It's not a bad spot. Another tag potential guy coming in at number 2. Big old Trey Smith for the Kansas City Chiefs. It's hard to imagine that the Kansas City Chiefs let him go. He's going to be well above $20 million. And one of the best offensive guards in football, one of the best free agents available, period. Look, if Trey Smith is not on the Kansas City Chiefs, he's an immediate upgrade to anybody's offensive line. He's going to be highly sought after. There's a lot of tape on this guy. Let's not forget he's a multi-time Super Bowl champion. I'm pretty sure Trey Smith has at least 2 rings for himself already. That's kind of the situation you're looking at with Trey Smith. And he's a brawler. He's the kind of offensive guard you really want on your team, and hopefully the Kansas City Chiefs can get something done. I would imagine this is another tag, play for 1 year, or tag and trade kind of situation as well with Trey Smith. Next on the list, Javon Holland from the Miami Dolphins. He plays safety, second-round pick out of Oregon in 2021. Holland is ranked one of the 5 highest graded safeties in his first 2 of the first 3 seasons. And he had a little bit of a rough year in 2024, but look, his body of work speaks for itself. He is that guy. Do not get him mistaken. Javon Holland could come out and bowl for some team. It'll be interesting to see what Miami decides to do with him, see if they can't try to keep him in-house. They've got a lot going on. And again, this is your number 3 guy sitting at safety. If you want a nice secondary piece, Javon Holland is one of the top guys you can go out and get. Another offensive weapon to highlight your day, to get you excited, to get you going. We got Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin has constantly displayed reliable hands, dropped fewer than 6% of catchable passes in 7 of his 8 NFL seasons. If that's kind of letting you know what kind of resume he's got. If you forgot about Chris Godwin, he maintained that standard in 2024, earning an 85.7 rating, and went through the first 7 weeks without a drop on 52 catchable targets. The big question with him is going to be the ankle injury. He's no stranger to going into free agency with injury. This happened the last time. He should be good to go. And then again, this is a big upgrade for a lot of people. He's still kind of young. He will be he's 28 right now, soon to be 29 by this time we really get into the football season. So, you could probably get away with doing a 2 or 3 year contract with Chris Godwin and feeling pretty comfortable. Number 5 on the list, then this will be a big loss for the Los Angeles Chargers if they lose him, and that's going to be Khalil Mack. Mack has enjoyed a late career resurgence over the past 2 seasons, proving he can still be a force as a pass rusher and a run defender. His 88 quarterback pressures in 2023 marked his highest total since 2016, and his pass rushing grade was the best since 2020. Mack's situation entered free agency is eerily similar to Von Miller's in 2022, as his 6 year, $120 million contract with the Buffalo Bills was more like 3 years and $52 million in reality. Now that does seem a smidge expensive for Khalil Mack. He will be 34 come this NFL season. I don't think I'm looking at signing Khalil Mack long term, but you would definitely feel comfortable signing, a 2 year deal with Khalil Mack in my prediction. He'd be a great pickup for a lot of teams. Even if you have a stout defensive line, like let's say the Detroit Lions, it'd be a nice addition. Look, I'd like to see him in a Kansas City Chiefs uniform. It's time for us to get a little guy on the outside with a little heat. That'd be pretty nice. I can enjoy that. Number 6, this is going to be your number 1 corner available in free agency. DJ Reed from the New York Jets. Reed is set to enter free agency after earning his 6th straight season-long 70 overall grade. His 70 coverage grade in 2024 ranked 31st among qualifying cornerbacks. And he's got a lot of lockdown metrics. He's pretty stout. He's not super crazy elite, but look, this is a great addition to your defense. Still relatively young at the age of 28. You can still work with that. You can sign a 3 year deal with DJ Reed if you're feeling a little risky. Personally, I'd be looking for a 1 or 2 year deal for DJ Reed, but it's hard to get him to accept that. So one in one hand, wish in the other, and see which one fills up faster, if you know what I mean. Now, they have Amari Cooper as the 3rd best wide receiver available. I think that's a bit of a stretch at the age of 31 going into the season for Amari Cooper. And 31 doesn't even sound crazy old, but, even at 30 years old, Cooper will be an attractive option for teams looking to improve at wide receiver. He's earned a PFF receiving grade of 70 and above in every full season he's been in the league. He struggles with drops in 2024, and that's with Josh Allen as the quarterback. So the quarterback definitely was not the issue. And 15% of his catchable passes not caught. The 61st best wide receiver, or out of 133, so right about half. Look, if you can have Amari Cooper be your number 3 guy, you're in a very solid situation. I mean, honestly, even if he's your number 2, you can, it's not what you want, but I'd really be looking for more of a number 3, 4 position for Amari Cooper for a more stacked team, looking for some good veteran depth. There's nothing wrong with Amari Cooper. He had real fluky games, so he could be real hit and miss and real spot on. But we'll see what happens with Amari Cooper in this offseason. Ronnie Stanley is going to be your number 8 PFF ranked player. It's hard to argue that any player improved their free agency stock more this offseason than Ronnie Staley. After a devastating injury in 2021 seemed to stall his career, Stanley has been back to form in 2024. You looked pretty good. You looked pretty good in the first 12. Um, I think he's going to go for more money than what I'd like to pay him. And I think this is one of those situations where you're going to overspend for a quality name that fans can get behind. You know, no one's going to hate you for signing for signing Stanley. Like it's not a bad pickup. I don't want to pay for it. Next on the list, we got old Sam Darnold at number 9. Look at Sam Darnold. How about that? The best quarterback available is what they're claiming with Sam Darnold. And really, man, those last couple games really dinged his draft stock. The debate surrounding Darnold in 2025 offseason will likely focus on whether he can be more than just a bridge quarterback. While his raw regular season stats were impressive, 35 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, his performance in key areas were more mixed, with 33 big-time throws balanced by 24 turnover-worthy plays. It's just he went from maybe he's got a big career to, maybe you'll roll the dice on Sam Darnold and get a similar success. He had a great year with Minnesota. He's projected to get 3 years at $41 million a year, and I'd say that's about right. With a $70 million guaranteed, I'd take that. That's about right. And some you might think that's a little bit high, but a premium quarterback's going to run you $15 million more, maybe even 20. If we're going to be completely honest, if you start getting like Josh Allen, Joe Burrow types, Justin Herbert's, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels is going to get $60+ million a year. So signing Sam Darnold frees up $20 million to do a lot with. Josh Sweet signed in early extensions with the Eagles in 2021, and then a revised 1-year contract for 2024, which he made the most of with the 8 sacks in the regular season. With the departure of Jason Riddick and the unfortunate injury to Eagles legend Brandon Graham, Sweet had plenty of runway to boost the stock, and he did. You're looking at the 36th best defensive rush guy. Defensive rush guys are premiums. This is why he's considered top 10. Another big name on the list, and honestly, I think this should have been higher than Amari Cooper. This is a robbery that he's at number 11, and we're looking at Amari Cooper all the way at number 7. It's ridiculous. I think at the very minimum, we need to switch these two. I think this is a bigger target for me. I like this guy. Stephon Diggs at number 11. Playing in an offense where he's no longer the top target didn't hinder Diggs' effectiveness. The star wideout was in pace to extend the streak of offseason with a grade of 75 above and a drop rate below 10% on catchable passes before a season-ending ACL tear, the type of injury for an older player who wins with lateral agility will make for an interesting free agency dance. Diggs' situation is shades of Odell Beckham Jr. Free agency period in 2023 when he tore his ACL in the Super Bowl and did not play in 2022 before signing a 1-year, $15 million guaranteed contract. Look, that's a fair comparison. If Stephon Diggs got anything left in the tank, I'd be excited to see it, but you got to see it to believe it, in my opinion. Let me see. Hassan, number 12, Hassan Reddick. Reddick's absence from the Jets to start the season left questions from how interested other teams will be in his service in 2025. His standout 2022 season had career highs for sack totals. He was a reliable rusher from 2018 to 2023. Uh, and really, his biggest ding was he got traded to the Jets, and they didn't work out the contract before he got traded there. Every player, when they get traded somewhere, usually gets a new deal, and that didn't work out for him. It didn't make no sense. And now the Jets traded him for nothing. Shows you what you get. That was the biggest joke of the offseason. Then really the regular season, they kept running. Wild to see, folks. Charvarius Ward, number 13. Shout out to former Kansas City Chiefs Charvarius Ward, age 28. I can't believe he's only 28. He'll be 29 going in, but it seems like he's been playing forever. It truly does. And that's going to be the second best corner available. Ward struggled in 2024 and posted career lows in metrics, but his overall body of work will keep him as one of the top options on the market in 2025. Last year was his best in the NFL to date with his coverage grade ranking third among all players at the position, with cornerback teammate Lenore receiving in an in-season extension. The writing appears to be on the Ward for the wall. They're trying to say that Ward's going to be out. I kind of agree with that. I think he kind of fell off. Kind of fell back to what you know him to be. Shout out Charvarius Ward. Look, he's had a great run. I don't think this is a terrible depth pickup for a team really needing a veteran guy. You know, you could see Charvarius Ward being effective, maybe a bounce back season. Now it does make you worried that, the San Francisco defense is, pretty legendary, and he still kind of struggled in that situation, with good guys around you, and makes your job a little easier. But I expect good things out of Charvarius Ward. He's probably still got another solid 2-3 years in his career, I would imagine. And shout out to him and his family. I think he's ready to leave. I don't think it's just the 49ers wanting him to not be there. I think there's things in the off the field that's chasing Charvarius Ward away. So it's time to go. Hey, shout that out. Hey, what was the last two, though? Hey, it's all right. You know who's going back to the next one. DeAndre Hopkins. Where is he going to go? Where is he going to be? Shout out to old D-Hop. Hopkins was traded at the deadline with the struggling Tennessee Titans to the perennial Super Bowl contenders, the Kansas City Chiefs. A national spotlight through the playoffs never hurts, and Hopkins continued to play through a knee injury, which suggests he can fully heal up on the offseason in 2025, which was a real nice way to say he didn't do a whole lot in the offseason. And he was really kind of one of those reasons why the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. The drop passes by a guy that shouldn't be dropping passes. Look, at the age of 33 going into the season, I think he's still got some steam left in him. It would be interesting to see where he can go. He's going to go to whatever team throws him the bag, though, I believe. DeAndre Hopkins likes to tell you he wants to play for a contender, and then he'll sign for a team like the Tennessee Titans, which was the worst in the NFL. So it's hard to play lip service with DeAndre Hopkins. But I wouldn't mind seeing him back in the Kansas City Chiefs uniform if that's what he chose to do. Shout out my boy D-Hop. Rasul Douglas, another cornerback, 30, getting close to that 39-year-old or 30-year-old kind of range. Rasul Douglas from Buffalo. Douglas faced some challenges in 2024, but his knack for making plays on the ball ensures he'll attract significant interest in 2025. Heading into the 2024 campaign year, he had recorded at least 7 pass breakups in 6 of his 7 years in the NFL, and notched 4 or more interceptions in each of the past 3 seasons. I mean, that kind of record speaks for itself. Oh, hey, shout out Gibbs. You always first, bro. Hope you're having a good day today. We ain't had no Lions on this list yet. Hey, that's always a good sign, right? We're 15 deep and you ain't lost nobody yet. That's always good. Hopefully we can stay healthy next year and it'll be real nice. Malcolm Kuntz. If Kuntz hadn't suffered a season-ending knee injury before the 2024 season began, instead carried over his momentum from the back half of 2023, he could have been squarely with the top 10 of our list. Perhaps the silver lining, if there is one, to getting injured too early in the year is that Kuntz should be healthy entering the free agency period, that if he got hurt during the season, a short-term deal with Kuntz can hit the market again in 2026. Signing 1 or 2 year deals like Nuusa. I mean, maybe. There's you got if you want to roll the dice there. I don't know. He's still young. I think someone's going to. It's not going to be cheap though. I don't know. We'll see. Cam Robinson, one of these tackles I might be looking at. Played for Minnesota last year. Robinson was part of a Jaguars team that had a dismal start to 2024, but individually, he was a reliable option at left tackle before being acquired by Vikings at the trade deadline. His pass blocking efficiency this regular season was the worst mark of his career, but it's a testament to how good he's been over the last 4 years. Look, it's a premium position. That's you're chasing them big boys. Shout out to Cam Robinson for getting paid. 53rd best tackle, by the way. This is the rating. Jeez. That's how slim pickings it is. We got Drew Greenlaw. Greenlaw worked with his way back up from his Achilles injury. He suffered in the Super Bowl last season, but was shut down after only 34 snaps in 2024. He'll likely still see a lot of interest in free agency. He's great in coverage and has had good grades over the last 2 seasons, but it's one of those when healthy kind of stats, man. He was a big loss in that Super Bowl, but look, if you can't be on the field, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with you? Justin Fields. What do we say about old Justin Fields? What a season. Look, he had just as many. Justin Fields has just as many wins as Caleb Williams. Let's not get it mistaken. Let that sink in. And he only played half the season. As soon as Russell Wilson was back, he was good to go. I think Justin Fields is slightly underrated for what he can do. Be interested to see if Pittsburgh lets him go. If there's a lesson to be learned from the recent resurgence of highly touted quarterbacks, prospects like Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and others, is that we probably shouldn't completely give up on a quarterback until they've had a shot with a quality coaching staff and supporting cast. While Fields did eventually cede duties to Russell Wilson this season, we already saw signs of improvement during his 4-2 run as the Pittsburgh Steelers starting quarterback. The physical tools are still undeniable and offer value. And even it is solely deployed in certain packages as a juiced up backup. Look, I'd take him as a backup. Take him as a backup in a hot country second. Wow. Look, Justin Fields, man, I was still kind of surprised they benched him for Russell Wilson, but it was Russell Wilson's job. They promised it to him. He got healthy. He had a decent season, better than I had expected. You got to give Russell Wilson credit for that. Aaron Jones. What do we say about Aaron Jones? Going to be 30 this. He is 30. Going to turn 31 this season. Jones took a one-year deal with the Vikings this offseason and looks set to be one of the top running backs available in 2025. His grading was 22nd among running backs, and he brings consistent production. It's kind of a overstatement. I'm an easy pass on Aaron Jones. I don't know who would be high on Aaron Jones personally. Somebody will be. Somebody will convince you he's good. Not me. Not this guy. Our first Detroit Lion on the list. Shout out just a chill Lions fan. Carlton Davis III. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers traded Davis to the Lions in the offseason. He proved immediate stability to a young Detroit secondary that badly needed it after the defense endured an unfathomable number of injuries in 2024. Most notably to Adrian Hutchinson. Davis, too, suffered a season injury with a fractured jaw that ended his season in week 15. Just another guy on the list. Just another guy on the list that they were missing. He's a solid guy. I think somebody picks him up. I think he's kind of underrated for where he's at. I think Carlton Davis III is better than that, but they got him at 21. This is not my list. Drew DeMar, center from Atlanta. There ain't many long-term answers in free agency at center, which will make Dolman the primary beneficiary. Is the number one center available if he reaches the open market. Like Atlanta probably ain't going to let him go. Any team that deploys an outside zone rushing scheme will be all over the former fourth-round pick. Tolman has room to grow as a pass protector, but is one of the best run-blocking centers in the NFL and will continue to advance and continue to grow only at the age of 26. And continued growth of the interior offensive line market after the Kansas City Chiefs. Creed Humphrey reset the center market because the Chiefs highly overpaid for Creed Humphrey. So other teams are going to have to pay your center $20 million now because they did a real big leapfrog jump. Let's see. We got a comment here. I hope Eagles and Lions play first game of the season because at least the Eagles will get the Lions at full strength. And see what the NFC championship that should have been played. Eagles fans here, by the way. Yeah, look, I'd agree with that. That's a very spot-on analysis, in my opinion. Like, I'd honestly like to see what that would have looked like. Especially, it's the big asterisk, though, right? The thing of health. The Eagles did a great job going into the offseason healthy, smart, resting their players when they could. Saquon Barkley could have easily gotten the number one rushing yards in a season if he played every down, But sometimes it's not who you play, but when you play them. So we didn't get to see that with the NFC Championship game. I thought the Lions were going to go to the Super Bowl. But apparently, probably one way or the other, the Chiefs are probably getting their butt kicked in that Super Bowl because both teams, if healthy, would have had a stellar defense. And the Kansas City Chiefs clearly struggled going up against that kind of a defense. You get a nice, light, easy Bills defense, and it's an easy night. You get the Eagles, Lions, and not so rough. Not so rough to think it's a cakewalk. Let me see. Will Fries, guard from Indianapolis Colts. Fries made tremendous strides over the duration of his rookie contract, but could be the next guard to cash in during his free agency period after a wave of big deals landed in 2024. Unfortunately, Fries fractured his tibia in Week 5 against the Jaguars, and underwent surgery. Should be back to go, but another guard that teams should be kind of looking at sneak in to get you there. Number 25, Tevin Jenkins. Jenkins is a force to be reckoned with on most Sundays. The issue is, over his career thus far, has been getting on the field on Sundays. There are some occasional whiffs to clean up in his pass protection, but if he can't exactly help this pass set footwork going from right tackle to left tackle to left guard while also rehabbing a bunch over his rookie year or rookie contract. Following 2021 second-round draft pick Sam Cosmi signed a 4-year, $74 million extension with the Commanders before the 2024 season, which could serve as a favorable comparison for Jenkins, as Cosmi also kicked from the tackle to the guard and missed some times through injuries. And then I'm not chasing down any Bears offensive linemen. You can keep them. You can keep them. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Nada. Not a chance. Too much money for a bum guard. Easy pass. There's no way, Jose. That's all the cool kids say. Look at number 26. We got Asante Samuel Jr. at cornerback at the age of 25. Surprised he's kind of this far down. Samuel struggled early in his first 5 years with defensive coordinator Jesse Minter, but at the helm, but played just 4 games before being placed on injured reserve with shoulders injuries. Likely Samuel's tackling woes, a problem he's rendered with his head throughout his career. They're just saying he's injury prone. That's all they're trying to say. There's a bunch of blah, blah, blah about how you're going to pay him and he's going to get hurt. We know it. They know it. Everybody knows it. Shout out Asante Samuel Jr. Kevin Zittler, number 27. This is a guy I wouldn't mind going after for a 1-year deal at the age of 35. After spending the past 3 years in Baltimore, Zittler joined the Detroit Lions, which was a near seamless fit. He had his best year since 2014. Crazy run blocking grade. The 34-year-old could be a cheap yet effective guard option on the open market. Look, if the Chiefs lose Trey Smith, I would go after Kevin Zittler. Look, this is not a bad option. You still got to find something at left tackle, but that's not a bad option. Number 28, James Daniel, guard from Pittsburgh. Daniels was turning in a career year, but unfortunately tore his Achilles in Week 4. The 27-year-old vet was solid in his first 2 seasons with the Steelers, but showed some liabilities in his run blocking. There should be a solid market given Daniel's age and experience. Shout out Tyron Smith, tackle, age 34, out of New York Giants. Given Smith's age, teams may not want to commit to him long term, but he remains a solid option at left tackle. Before he got injured, he was the 21st best tackle making him a worthwhile short-term investment for teams seeking offensive line stability. Unfortunately, another injury landing Smith on injury reserve. Questions about his longtime stalwart will hinder his 2025 and beyond. Yeah, he's getting old. He's getting old. All right, I'm going to butcher this last guy's name. His last guy on the list be the last guy we do tonight. Oza Aduzukawaza is an interior pass rusher with very strong metrics that haven't quite translated to major sack production through his 4 seasons with the Dallas Cowboys. He's been injured a bunch, but he stayed the course and played some of the best ball of his career over the second half of the campaign. The 2021 third-round pick is quality one of the most underrated defenders across the NFL. That's going to be your top 30 NFL free agents. This is the Bold Sports Show. Appreciate y'all popping in. Check us out next time. Go Chiefs.